Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. We are just about to leave the ship, however we have a few things that are going to interrupt us. The first is that we have to level up, but we'll talk about that after. The second is our colony events. So if I go to colony management and have a look at Foulstone, all the things were finishing instantly in Foulstone, and I was like, this is weird, this is like quite clearly not the way it's meant to be, what's up with that? So I went away and I looked it up, and effectively, one of these characteristics on the side, which I believe is complacency, makes speed of projects go up by 10%. In fact, that's exactly what it says here. Speed of projects in the colony will be decreased by 10% for each point of complacency, so it'll be finished 10% quicker is what they're trying to say. Now, if you have 10 points of complacency, it's not too hard a calculation to go, wait a second, that's 100%. It does make buildings finish instantly. Now, is this the way it was intended by Owlcat? I don't know, but that's the reason they're finishing instantly. The other thing that I saw on forums, which was kinda interesting, is apparently once you finish all the projects in a colony, you can actually, apparently, now this is 4-month-old information from an unconfirmed forum post, so we'll take it with a grain of salt. You can click projects, and you can still select them from this screen, despite having no spaces available on your colony. That's what I've heard, and if it's true, that's kinda cool. But yeah, that's basically the way everything's finishing. So we can finish Foulstone right now if we want to. How are we on complacency for the other ones? Okay, so they're lower. So we'd assume that all of these are going to take some time on their ones, while this one is going to all finish instantly. It's just interesting. Okay, so our presence is required at a warp anomaly that's here as well. So let's level up, do the warp anomaly, then we can do the leveling of the colony. Yeah, or we could just do the leveling of the colony, then do the warp anomaly. But anyway, we have to level up first, because, you know, we want to have the stats when we level up, in case we get any events. So, actually, if we get any events, then we're going to want to have landed on a planet so that we can then have the party, although it might use our last party, which we had in the ship, in which case that's fine. Okay, that'll be fine. Did Marazai want to speak to us, by the way? I think he did. Yes, he does. Okay, cool. Let's level people up. So, let's start with us. Also interesting that the party has changed. I guess it has your last... Well, yeah, our last selected party are the last 5. That's interesting. Anyway, let's do some leveling. So, first tier archetype ability and a skill. Oh, ability! Oh, right, yeah. Okay. So, intimidation is not really what we're looking for. In fact, we do have area attacks, which means that this is just not really that good. However, it will allow us to do extra damage. Sorry, let me read this thing in full. So, when you hit an enemy with a non-area attack, the first enemy hit will be intimidated. That'll do 2 times by perception bonus %. That'll cause them to take 2 times perception bonus % less damage, or deal. Let me try this again. The damage dealt by intimidated enemies is reduced by 2 times perception bonus %. So that'll be 2 times by 6, that's 12%. This negative effect is doubled for enemies with less than 3 times int bonus % armor. Now that would be 21%, but if we lower armor first, you can then hit them with this, and that then means that they're taking 36, or they are now doing 36% less damage. Okay, we got through there in the end. So that's pretty good. Precise attack is the one that we have on early. We never use it. It's completely useless for us, although the hit chance is kind of nice. What's tactical knowledge? I haven't seen this on any of our characters. The operative removes 1 exploit from each enemy in a 5-cell radius around a point within 10 cells from the operative. Okay. If there's only 1 enemy in the area, they remove all exploit stacks from that enemy. All allies gain armor equal to 2 times the number of exploits removed. If 4 or more are removed, the operative gains 5 times the number of exploits removed % damage until the end of combat. That could increase your damage a lot very, very, very quickly. I might take that. You know what? Just because we don't have it, that seems really good. Yeah, and also, this is bonuses till the end of combat. So if we get into a fight with a lot of small enemies and then some big enemies, you get all the small enemies, they have an exploit put on from the start of our turn, we tactical knowledge them, that causes a huge amount of exploits to be removed, and suddenly, we've got the ball rolling. Okay. And then a skill. I was going to take tech use, I think, wasn't I? Yeah, I was raising tech use. And the reason I was raising tech use is so I didn't have to take Pascal. Not that I don't want to take Pascal, just so I didn't have to take him. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can kind of go for what we want. Remembering that we get to double the... we get to double all checks due to an item that we have. Yeah, and we're going to add 13 to this on our next chance, what we get as talent, or common talent. That was what we were going to do. Yeah. Okay, that seems fine. Right. Marazai. So you get a first tier ability. So, Forceful Strike gathers all their might for a crushing attack. Their next melee attack pushes the enemy away. The push is equal to 1 plus strength bonus divided by 2 cells. No. Sworn enemy? Maybe. So this, you make a target. You then gain armor against the target, but you also gain 2 plus strength bonus damage on melee attacks against that target, so 6 damage. If the target attacks the warrior during this round, the warrior gains 1 AP. Now the round is the whole thing, I think, right? So a turn is the individual actions that you take. The round is the individual actions everybody takes. So you could actually gain a little extra AP that way. Or Taunting Scream, which I don't think is what we're looking for. I think Sworn Enemy is the obvious choice here. Yeah, his toughness and his strength aren't really his, strengths. But the 1 AP is incredible if you can get that to work. And you can force an attack by walking away to get an attack of opportunity. So, yeah, that's fine. And then a skill. Demolitions, right? Yep, demolitions. Wonderful. Ulfar. So entrench or dash or concentrated fire. Next ranged area attack. He doesn't do those. Dash allows him to dash. Okay, entrench. Means he spends all their AP and MP and gains a 30% cover efficiency. Well, he doesn't use cover, so doesn't use, he has to take dash. Easy. His skill is carouse because his athletics is so insane that we're never going to need to worry about it. Although we could take demolitions just to try and make it another demolitions person, but let's go carouse, yeah. Okay. Heinrichs. Ooh, yeah, he gets psychic abilities. Okay. Okay, so let's just have a look at his warrior ones for now. So, Endure is the one he has. He doesn't need Breakthrough, he doesn't need Forceful Strike, he doesn't need Reckless, doesn't need Sworn Enemy, doesn't need Taunting Scream. Okay. So now we're on to these ones. So, Light of the Emperor. All enemies affected by Word of the Emperor are healed for 1 plus the Psyker Psi rating. Okay. Plus the allies resolve divided by 2 to 10 plus the Psycho Psi rating plus the allies resolve divided by 2. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a nice heal. Purge Soul. Deals some damage. That's not really what I'm looking for here. Sword of Faith. The psychic power costs 50 momentum. It can only be used when momentum is 175 or higher. So effectively, this is almost a heroic act in a psi power. Okay. Till the end of combat, the weapon in the Psyker's hand will be replaced by a sword made of sheer will. The sword has a single target attack and an area attack. It can be used to release a cone of fire or line of fire. The damage of the sword is the same as that of Purge Soul. If the Psyker uses a force weapon, all bonuses from that force weapon remain. For the purposes of talents and other bonuses, the Sword of Faith, I'm assuming it's going to say, is a force weapon. Yep. This power can be used again, increasing the damage by the Psyker's resolve. That seems like that's a, very, very good one. And you need something incredible. Oh, so this is just a new psychic power path. That's all that's saying. I'm just going to say, I need something incredible to make me not take that. Enfeeble. Yeah, so we can put penalties on people. And regeneration is the one that lets you, till the end of combat, the target recovers wounds at the beginning of each turn and removes a negative effect. It's quite nice. And in this one, the target ally immediately gains an extra turn of twice their normal MP and the Psi rating AP, but their organism is subjected to severe stress, making them take 5% of the maximum wounds damage at the end of each turn until the end of combat. Every action the target makes during this extra turn will also trigger this damage. Alright, yeah, that's why I didn't... I was reading the start of it thinking, why did I not select this as something that we might take? And then went, I understand. I'm going to take Sword of Faith. That sounds incredible. I don't know why I haven't taken it. But yeah, that sounds insane. I guess because I wasn't attacking on him, which would be a very good reason. I'm probably never going to use his athletics because we have Ulfar and Abelard who are outperforming right now. I'm going to take demolitions, which apparently is just my dump stat right now. Hello. This one. Okay, joint analysis is the one that allows you to make allies deal bonus more damage if they remove exploits. I assume it doesn't stack though. Tactical knowledge is fine. Precise attack is fine. None of these are good, really. Tactical knowledge, I guess, is fine. Is firmly fine. Yeah. I guess I could use joint analysis on the cases where we might not want to use it. Like I might say I'm going to save an AP this turn and give it and make Pascal use it. Honestly, Pascal has enough AP things to use during his turns. I take tactical knowledge because it could be good, I guess. Tech use, I think, is as high as it's ever going to need to be for the game, from what we've seen. Logic does not need us to put any points in it. Like, these ones and that one, no reason to put any points in it with any character, because we're obviously going to be the highest. Medicae, I kind of think you're the highest you're ever going to need to be. These, he has terrible stats, not demolitions. Could go awareness just to have awareness go up. Could go athletics just to try and have another person who can do athletics, but I don't really need it. I guess I'm going to have to take Medicae. Yeah, I just don't think there's any use for his tech use. Alright. Like, just because it's so high. Argenta. Ability. Now, you do use cover, so this is kind of useful. Next time the soldier uses run and gun, they gain back all AP and MP plus 1 additional AP. Also resets the cooldown of all the soldiers' abilities except for run and gun. I don't really want to ever use up my AP and MP in a turn with her though, because I can always do another attack. Like pretty much always. You don't really use area attacks, but you could, I suppose. I guess that means you're doing rapid fire for the double rate of fire. The shots doing 25% less damage doesn't really matter. I take rapid fire. I mean, hers is agility, so it's demolitions. Yeah, that's fine. Cassiel. Ooh, yeah, we have these ones down here as well. So if we got Air of Authority. Increases allies' resolve by 2 plus the officer's resolve divided by 3 until the end of combat. If they're under the effect of Voice of Command, they will start their next turn with 1 additional action point. That's potentially okay. This ability can only target allies who have enemies adjacent to them. All melee attacks made by the target will deal additional damage equal to the officer's fell bonus divided by 2, multiplied by the number of enemies adjacent to the target when this ability is used. If they're under Voice of Command, they immediately make an attack of opportunity against an adjacent enemy, targeting the one with the lowest remaining wounds. That's also potentially really good. And then we have all of our navigator stuff. We took Held in My Gaze. What's Immolate the Soul? Deals a bunch of damage to all targets in a line and inflicts a soul burn effect. They suffer damage at the start of their turns. At the end of their turn, they must pass a willpower test to remove the flames. When burning, the Psykers suffer additional damage each time you use psychic powers, and demons every time they attack or use psychic powers. Okay. Mend Reality allows you to decrease Veiled Degradation by willpower bonus points, so by 10 points potentially, and all allies gain willpower bonus deflection against all warp damage and damage from psychic powers until the end of the navigator's next turn. That's really, really good. Show the path. You can let people charge. Okay. See if we have anything else we've unlocked. This one we've unlocked from something. All incoming warp damage is increased, and all other types of damage are increased. At the start of their turn, the enemy closest to them also becomes cursed. I'm going to take Mend Reality. I think this is incredibly good. I think that is actually insanely good. Let me just check something here. Yeah, that does also give us 1 extra fellowship. I think that these are also incredible, but I think that if we use this and we have somebody like Heinrichs here, he can spam psychic powers as much as he likes, and then we just mend reality, and everything becomes much better. So, I can see a perfect use case for it. And that's the kind of thing I like to take. If I can see a perfect use case, it's like, yeah, go for it. I'm going to take Coercion here, because we want to have those stats as things that can auto-pass. Alright, Abelard. He doesn't need this one. Forceful Strike, never going to use. I guess I'll take Reckless Strike, because it is based off of strength and weapon skill. Every enemy who survives an attack enhanced by this ability will attack the warrior in return, including creatures with ranged weapons. Okay. I'm going to take... I might not ever use it, but I'm going to take it. And then Carouse, again, I think this is as high as I'm ever going to need it. Same with Athletics. I don't really know what I take then. What do I take as my next one? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I just take Carouse, because that's all we're really going to use them for. Sure. Idira. Available abilities. You have many, many, many abilities. So, first of all, is there anything in the operative side that she wants? No. Okay. These are just the extra types of powers she could have if we wanted her to have them. But we'd only take one of those if we're not happy with what she currently has, right? And I guess we would only take Pyromancy because we haven't seen Pyromancy yet. Right. So, perfect timing. All allies that are currently affected by any of the Psyker's powers gain a perfect timing effect. When an ally under this effect dodges or parries an attack, if this ally has a weapon capable of reaching the attacker and has an attack that costs 1 or less AP, they immediately counter-attack. Okay. Once per round, the Psyker's next turn is moved up 2 rounds in the initiative sequence. You may be able to have 2 turns during 1 round, because if it moves you backwards, yeah, you could move backwards into the previous round. Okay. The target gains intelligence, perception, fellowship, willpower until the end of combat. I mean, that's quite nice as a bonus. Mind Bond. At any time until the end of combat, the target of Mind Bond makes a perception, intelligence, willpower, or fellowship test using either theirs or the Psyker's stats. Whichever is higher. It's never going to be her stats. They aren't high. The target makes a willpower resistance test. If the test fails, the target immediately attacks its allies. After the target suffers psychic shriek damage, after the target suffers psychic shriek damage, I was missing the comma, which is very important here, and their willpower is reduced by an amount, so 20 until the end, 18 until the end of combat. If the target succeeds, the target just suffers the psychic shriek damage and their willpower is reduced by 18 until the end of combat. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm kind of between perfect timing and mind rupture. I think mind rupture sounds cool. And then let's give ourselves I guess she's kind of our awareness. She's very into awareness. It's really the only stat she's got anything going for her with, so let's take awareness. Jai. Okay, ability. Well, I guess we'll take Air of Authority on her, probably, if I had to guess. Or Break the Ranks. Yeah, like these two are still good for her. I kind of like Break Their Ranks. I think it's really interesting. Because basically you can force them to get an extra attack. I think that can be really good. Then, I don't need Lore Imperium, I don't need Commerce, and I don't need Persuasion. I could take Tech Use on her. Just continue raising another Tech Use person. You know, honestly, might you have some Tech? Well, no, because we're going to have tech use. What am I talking about? That's stupid. You should take coercion, because that's a stat that scales with you, and it's something that Cassia has that you don't. Yeah, let's take coercion. Okay, Earliette. The same question we've had for all of them. We take intimidation because she has a large amount of perception bonus. Her intelligence isn't that good, but if you reduce their armor to 0, then it suddenly becomes incredible. Yeah. Okay, let's take that. And then, I mean, hers is awareness, but we should take demolitions because, you know, we need another demolitions person at all times. Right. Maybe I've gone too much into demolitions, but there you have it. Right. Now, we're going to go into our next menu. Apologies. But now it's time for colony management. It has given you a lot of management to do at the start of these, but that's okay. Now I'm not worried about the fact these are finishing instantly. We're happy to go. So I'm assuming that we just can't do these because we don't have Praising the Muses and we don't have Orbital Shipyard for whatever reason. And the reason must be that we haven't done the thing in the previous section that allowed those to unlock, right? Like maybe those are based upon these things. Like maybe if you chose one of the, like maybe if we chose Crusade, we would have like we might have had Sacred Comet available or something, or Holy Defenders, right? But we don't, so that's fine. So do we take Reliquary right away? Should give us Righteous Charge, a very, very powerful hammer. All collisions caused by the Thunder Hammer's pushing attacks deal 300% more damage. All targets hit by the Thunder Hammer must pass an agility resistance test with a 10 bonus or fall prone. Wow. Okay. I think we just do these, right? Assuming we have the stuff for them. So this is Plasteel and Promethium. We have the stuff. Let's do it. That didn't finish instantly, actually. Interesting. Oh, okay. But is that because we're not on the Koronus Expanse map? That might be because we're not on the map. I do actually want to go to here anyway. Let's do the warp event then. If it isn't finishing instantly, let's do the warp event. Unless, let me just check it now. Oh, it's completed. Yeah, it did finish instantly. Nice. So we've got that one. So we now have Lightbringers done. So if I do this, it should... No, it doesn't pop up as finished either. That's fine. So what did Lightbringers gave us a rep, didn't it? Yeah, and security for all colonies. And then missionaries. So this one uses 3 provisions. So we'll just do a look. Provisions, that's fine. 6 people, fine. Weapons, 3, fine. I'll take missionaries. It gives us complacency and security. And now we can take Reliquary and finish this off. Let's do a quick save first, though. Just before we finish it off, in case there's anything we want to go back on. Hey, there we go. So now it told us it finished. Right. Reliquary. So this one uses 5 adamantine. We have enough adamantine. Wonderful. It's going to give us 5 profit factor and then the righteous charge. Also, I didn't read these. I suppose I should have. So, by showing illusions to the masses, it's possible to gain a lot of attention and attract pilgrims. The Koronus Expanse is in the need of stalwart defenders, and Foulstone can help by sending its children to every dark corner of the sector. The establishment of ammunition production will be a great help in defense of Foulstone and neighboring systems. The traitorous warp currents can be made safer by sending pious patrols to help those in distress and the lighting of warp beacons. And after millennia of lying under the monastery, the launch of St. Cognatius's Titanic machine nears. This is the holy... I'm just... Again, I know we went through this last time, but having a look at this one. 10% damage for 2 turns and 20 temporary wounds whenever a character uses their origin ability. That's pretty nice. But it's for our character, obviously. Reliquary. So that'd be actually whenever we use Surefire Plan. I was trying to think what an origin ability would be for us. So whenever we use Surefire Plan, we get 10% more damage and 20 temporary wounds. Thinking about it that way, that's actually much better. Okay. Then Reliquary. The monastery, having been damaged by the launch of the Crucible, will be transferred aboard the Von Valancius flagship as a great reliquary and shelter for the Order of the Hammer. Oh, it's coming aboard the ship? We've finished it. We completed the highest tier colony event. Fantastic, and that's the quest done. Yeah. If I do this... yeah, we didn't actually fail all of these quests. That's fine. It's not every quest was completable, I think it's the other way. New ruler, there we go. We've begun to set our sights on the horizons that are now open to him, henceforth the Protectorate's prosperity is in his hands. Nice. Ah, there we go. I knew we'd have an event with it. Lord Captain, the situation on Foulstone requires your attention. One of the servants tasked with the Crucible's maintenance has declared publicly that he's been liberated of all worldly concerns, for he is none other than the reincarnation of St. Cognatius. There are some extremely questionable reports claiming that he has performed miracles. Supported by a congregation garnered by preaching, he has asked for your lordship's permission to depart from Foulstone with the Crucible in tow so that he may continue St. Cognatius's work and use the relics to transform worlds, ones true to the faith of the Imperium, into lush, splendorous gardens. It goes without saying that such a generous gift to the Koronus Expanse could bring great renown to your lordship, but at a heavy cost. Foulstone would turn back into a wasteland, and you would lose the prestige that comes with having charge over such a valuable relic. Okay, so what do I have already? So execute this dangerous agitator publicly. The colony must have order. So we get his ostensorium. Whenever the wearer suffers an attack from a demon or warp damage, they inflict 8 burning to all adjacent enemies. All burning effects inflicted by the wearer deal double damage if they are demons or psychers. Okay. Make him undergo the trial of purity. Let him die trying to prove his holiness, so at least he can stop troubling the people. We get the same thing. Okay, or he must be inducted into the Order of the Hammer forcibly if necessary. It's consecrated weapons. Your voidship weapons deal 10% more damage. What do we know about the so-called St. Cognatius reincarnate? Tiber Hick, a technomat from Footfall, he now prefers to be called Brother Pure Voice. An unremarkable commoner with no family, gaunt, unkempt, covered in scabs from working the Crucible. He became obsessed with it from the day it was discovered. He never left his maintenance post, never rested, barely ever slept, fasting and living off stimulants and condensate from the relic's cooling circuit. Then he started having revelations and eventually saw the truth, or he went completely insane. His sermons are directed at commoners, appealing to them for humility and mercy. He often speaks about his former life as a saint, and many of his tales match known legends about St. Cognatius. No anarchical pronunciations or radical deviations from the creed have been found in his words, yet. Alright, advisors. I have had ample experience with saintly saviors like him in the past. Whatever great cause they proclaim as their mission, they genuinely, naively believe that people really do need them. If we round up enough orphans and lepers who would trip over themselves to beg our prophet for salvation, you will soon forget all about the Crucible and this holy mission. I know a few guilds of professional beggars who would be delighted to offer their services to us. False prophets in the streets are a common occurrence. Their sermons breed turmoil, riots, and acts of disobedience. The Inquisition recommends that such unstable agents be isolated and quietly removed. The arch-enemy's lies take on many guises, but the Emperor's miracles are 100-fold stronger. On more than a few occasions he has bestowed epiphanies upon the faithful, even those of humblest origin. I myself bear the name of a poor orphan who was granted miraculous powers by his grace. So, give me time, and I will find you the most loyal agents to escort Brother Pure Voice on his travels. They will keep him safe if he is pure, or punish him should they sense deceit in his words, but I have a feeling his rebirth is a true wonder. So we can get rid of him, and we get the ostensorium. We can have the wretches go in there and we get consecrated weapons, or we can let him go and we get Triumph of the Faith, yet another two-handed weapon, although this one's a power weapon. On a successful hit with this weapon, the target must pass a toughness resistance test with a -10 penalty or become stunned. If the target fails the test, this attack has no cooldown. The target fails the test, this attack has no cooldown? And then Pure Voiced Fame as well. 15 bonus to all skills. Excuse me? A 15 bonus to all skills? Okay, so here's where I'm at with this one. 3 is completely out. That's out of character. We're not going to kill him. So we have the choice between distract him, which gets us consecrated weapons, 10% more voidship damage, or we have the choice to send him with an escort. Now we will lose efficiency here, which is going to lower our stuff, and we are going to go lower on people, which is going to cause us an issue. But on the other side of this, we get 15 bonus to all skills, and another weapon which can be used by... because I think a power weapon can be used by our Space Marine. Yeah. I'm going to choose that one. Oh, actually we have 1 people. We didn't lose anything. I'll get to it immediately. I will choose the best people for this task, the most devoted. Having loaded the crucible onto the requisitioned voidship, the pure-voiced prophet gathered up his flock and set out for distant worlds to spread his word. The spiritual authority of the Order of the Hammer suffered as a result, and the loss of the crucibles sowed substantial unrest among the populace. Before departing, the preacher expressed his appreciation by sending the Lord Captain a gift, a relic that, according to his own claims, once belonged to his previous incarnation. The stern guard selected by Sister Argenta vigilantly provide protection for the prophet, ensuring his thoughts remain pure. So that now gives us righteous charge and the profit factor for finishing it we already had. And now we are finished with Foulstone. And actually we had exactly the right amount of buildings, so it's no issue, even if we were maxed out. We do want to go to Foulstone here, but first of all of our stats are raised by 15. It's incredible. Especially as we have to do so many checks alone. I mean, look at this. It's actually insane that we have so many that we are actually competing with our other party members for now. Tech use, I mean, once we take 1 more, I would argue that we're almost better than Pascal, because we get the double roll thanks to this one. Yeah, thanks to the scriptures. It's actually insane. I'm assuming that is... Yeah, we looked at it before. That is a... Oh no, it's this one. We can reroll any failed skill test. Yeah, actually this implies that we can reroll twice, but I don't know if we can. But yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. So we get plus 10 to all skills. We just got another plus 15. So we have plus 25 in total, and we can reroll any failed skill test. It's lovely. Right. Let's do a save. And let's have a look at our inventory. So we just got some new stuff. So let's actually go here. Let's sort from newest to oldest. Hammers. First of all, can you use any of these hammers? No, I thought you could use the power weapons. I guess I'm incorrect. Okay, you. Well, Roaring Thunder has less damage than this one. The Thunder Hammer deals 3 damage and grants 10% stacking chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn for each point of the enemy's deflection. Successful toughness resistance test negates this effect. Or, when we hit with this, they have to take a toughness resistance test with a minus 10 penalty or become stunned, and if they fail the test, it has no cooldown. Yeah, so I think that this is better. Yes, that's what you should be equipped with. And then we have the choice of the other Thunder Hammer, which is just more damage. All targets hit by the Thunder Hammer must pass an agility resistance test with 10 bonus or fall prone. I'm going to switch that one in there, and we're going to use this. This hammer's our primary hammer, this hammer's our secondary. It does have more damage, but the benefit of this one is that it could in theory allow you to do multiple strikes. We should switch to this one if we're doing single strikes, or if we're only doing, or if we're doing AoE Thunder Slam. Yeah, that's what we should do. Wonderful. That's our new stuff. Right. Quick save. We're going to go to Foulstone. We're going to set up our other colonies, and then we're hopefully going to go to whatever the place we need to go to is. Turn that off. Footfall! Yes. Right, into Foulstone. An anomalous warp storm has cut the system off from the rest of the galaxy and is presently driving the population insane. So we can do a prayer service. We can equip punitive squads to hunt down the infidels or declare a hunt for awakened psychers. I'll do punitive squads, and the reason I'm doing that is efficiency is the only stat that really matters to us now, because complacency makes projects quicker, right? So why would I care about complacency? Because we have no projects to do. Although it does also affect the amount of profit factor made, but like 100%, like this is the one I'm after. Yeah, so now we got more stuff back from that. Okay, cool. Well, that was just good. Do a quick save. And now it's time to go back to the colony thing and get some of these set up. So, what is that? Why is that 10 red? Oh no, maybe it's maxed out. Anyway. Oh, we also have the reaping down here that I never chose. Yeah, well, that's fine. I think we didn't choose it because it sounded horrific, right? No. Why would we never do this? I don't know why we never did this. I guess because I didn't need it was probably the reason, but I mean we could. But anyway, down here. So we have Great Fire, Great Fire, Captive Xenos, and Great Fire. So we have Great Fire here. We have no Captive Xenos, so that cannot be taken. So that's Forbidden Planet. Yanis's orbit is swarming with a fleet of refugees. However, their descent to the planet would be disastrous. Nobody must learn of the construction of the Xeno Vivisectory for the study of Aldari culture and technology. Yes, that sounds a little bit more heretical. Or Pleasure World. Orbit is swarming with a fleet of refugees by welcoming the aristocrats among them onto the planet and turning it into a resort. The rogue trader will gain favor from the higher ones, or we can get a shelter, which each time an ally is healed in combat, the damage of this ally is increased by 4%. And it gives you 18 times people. Anyway, so all you need is Great Fire for this one. It uses Promethium and Provisions. By turning the entire world into an enormous staging point, the rogue trader will save billions of lives. Okay, so Great Fire is what we need. Territory for new agriculture complexes can only be gained one way, the way of fire. Allies deal 10% more damage with Melta and Plasma weapons. Okay. What else have we got in here? So payment in organs, we would need to have people. The large increase in tithes may be supplemented by a decree that addresses the current shortfalls in other ways. Okay. You got anything that raises complacency? So secret layer, Xeno specialists will decipher the written records left by the ancient Xenos that once inhabited Yanis. Okay. Yeah, this one. It's possible to teach the serfs to read, thus educated servants under the supervision of educate enlightened servants under the supervision of monks. It gets you chemicals. A curious intoxicating substance has been found in the Xeno, or discovered in the Xeno ruins. Clandestine Magos alchemy's workshops will refine and distill the substance, transforming it into pure euphoria, which will delight the weary souls of aristocrats who long for new diversions. And the lost. The Expanse is burning, testing the metal of its void pirates. They're ready to pay an exotic xenobeast for such simple things like air and provisions. So where are provisions on our list? We can give away provisions, get profit factor, chemicals, and fellowship of the void. That might be okay for now. We really want to get people. We could do the Great Fire immediately, actually. Yeah, Great Fire immediately, then immediately into people afterwards. And then we have a ton of people that we can use for the other things. Yeah. Okay. The Way of Fire. Sure. Now that shouldn't finish instantly because... yeah, because they do not have 10 complacency. Cognus. Scroll down here. So, which ones do we have available to us here? So, Bastion, we have that. Do we have Pure Blood? No. Oh, wait, Praising the Muses? Oh, my... Oh, no. This had Praising the Muses over here, right? Oh, these are on different worlds. Oh, the Reliquary was fine here. But we could have got a lot more other things. Oh. Like, we could have got this armor, which is insane. Okay, this is fine for now. The complacency for all colonies is interesting. Okay, hold off a second, Yanis. So, we might go for shelter, but we might... So Captive Xenos and... So this one just has Captive Xenos as its other one, right? Do any of these other ones have Captive Xenos at the end? So Praising the Muses is in here. I don't see Captive Xenos. There's Militia Navy. Was that the other one needed for this one? No, Orbital Shipyard was the other one. Okay. So I'm just looking through these quickly. That's fine. So Praising the Muses. Veabos. Do you have at the end? Just scanning. Captive Xenos. There we go. Acquiring captives from the enemies of humanity to use in forced labor is a possible way to replenish the workforce. So you can take negatives here, but then you can do Captive Xenos over here. With Captive Xenos over here, you can do Forbidden Planet. Okay. I see. I see. And there's Pureblood. Okay. May grant the convicts the right to buy with their labor the freedom of their children born in captivity. And Pureblood was for something over here as well, wasn't it? Or was that for something... when I lost where Pureblood was for. Is Pureblood also in here? I'm sure we've seen Pureblood before as well. Is that in Dargonus? I'm just jumping between them. Bastion. Pureblood, there we go. Interesting. Okay, so these are cross-colony things. Oh, that makes it more confusing. And then Kiava Gamma, you must have orbital shipyards then. You have orbital shipyard. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. We're not in a terrible spot from where we are. I don't know if we would have taken anything too differently. Great Fire is fine. The question, I guess, is, do we want any particular one at the end of these? And if so, what do we need to take in a different one to get there? Okay, so do I want this one? A new entry in the annals of Dargonus, the fate of millions of orphans whose parents fell in the fire that gripped the Expanse. So you'd have to take Bastion, which I think all of them require you to take. Yeah. And then Pureblood. That gets you efficiency and security and a ton of people. Librarium. A new entry in the annals of Dargonus, the foundation of a vast repository of secrets and knowledge. Needs secret lair. Is secret lair here? No, it's somewhere else. Only the aristocracy and the highest ranks will have access to its halls. So that gets you 2,000 with the Caspalica mission. 2,000, or sorry, 20,000. Yeah, okay. And then the Society of Cartographers gets you 12,000 with the Imperial Navy. Okay. And all you need is Bastion for it. Okay, so one of these seems like a great option. So what's Secret Lair? Is that in Veabos? Secret Lair, Secret Lair. So it's not here. Kiava Gamma. I'm sure I've seen Secret Lair before, which is what's bugging me. Is it in Yanis? Yeah, it's there. Okay, and that gets you stuff with the Caspalica mission. Oh, so you can actually get 25,000 RP with the Caspalica mission by taking that. But you have to give up Loyalist Garb. If they've not moved in their turn, cover efficiency is increased. If they move at least 3 cells, they gain dodge. Okay. Or Woebringer, which is a shove exotic weapon. 21 people is also nice. I kind of like this one. So maybe go Secret Lair. Okay. What do you need for Bastion? You need Complacency to be above 7. Okay, so you need Complacency to be above 7. Complacency is currently 2. So is there anything that you can take in here that's going to raise your Complacency? I guess you people immediately, which is nice. The due date of the tithe approaches. By using corrupted schematics, it's possible to gain both the Psychers and gold. Profit factor. Complacency. Pleasing the tired. Gets you complacency and efficiency. You need to get Promethium, which we have 18 of. Provisions, which we have 21 of. Adamantine, we have 17. And Phlogiston, which we have 9 of. Yeah, that seems like the correct answer for us to start with. Let's take Pleasing the Tired. That's going to push us up to a 6. 6 complacency. we need to go up to 7. So we need something that raises complacency on all worlds. I'm just looking purely at the rewards here. I will read what these are in a minute. I saw one that gave you complacency on all worlds previously. It might be on Janus. Okay. Just continue to scan. Must have been on here. If we don't have anything in here, then we have messed up in a big way. Complacency on all worlds. It might have been on Dargonus, in which case, like, I don't know what we do. How do you raise complacency? Yeah, it's efficiency for all colonies. Oh, was it on Foulstone? Ah, that would be very bad. That would be very, very, very bad. Because then we can't take Bastion, which means that we can't ever actually move forward with this one. Which means I'd need to redo it all. Which is not something that I embrace doing. But that's would be fine if we have to. I would probably just do it off camera and then come back to it. Was it on Foulstone? Must have it then, right? Complacency for all colonies, so I need Praising the Muses. Is Praising the Muses something I can take in here? Yep. Okay. So I think I have to reload if I want to be able to do all of this, because otherwise we're never going to be able to get through this section. Because we're never going to have the complacency number. Unless we get a random event that raises complacency. That's interesting. Yeah, so we would have to switch from Reliquary to Holy Defenders, which means we'll lose our hammer. Right. It's a little annoying that they changed how this works on this one. I understand why they did it, because now they're all connected, but it's not entirely clear that the things that are there are related to other, like, colonies. Yeah. Okay. Let me just have a quick look at something here. Is there ways to gain complacency? Rogue Trader. Okay. You can get stuff for picking different companions in the bit where we had to pick the companions to stand up next to you. Well, that's not going to help, is it? I have all of them up to Bastion on Dargonus, is what this person said. And the buildings you build in a settlement. If you already built everything in all your other colonies, this will be hard. You can get events on the planet, but the likelihood is not high. Well, guess we're reloading. Back to here, I guess. Okay. And then we're going to have a new thing at the end. Luckily, we don't need to read all of this again, which is a positive, but we're going to have a new thing at the end. Right. So, where are we? Missionaries completed. That's fine. Missionaries can complete. But now we need Holy Defenders, which requires us to have Praising the Muses. Yeah, so we're not doing the Reliquary stuff. Which is fine. Okay. We didn't really need the extra hammer. You're going to take Praising the Muses, which uses 6 plasteel and 3 adamantine. That's fine. That now means that this one can finish. Alright, yeah, I need to go to the colonized world and do this one. That's fine. We are going to lower our complacency, but that's okay. We're not overly worried here. Yes, I want the efficiency, please. That's fine. Cool. Then, this means that this one is waiting on the final level, because we want Holy Defenders instead of Reliquary, because we need the complacency for all colonies to get Bastion on this colony. Janus, I think I can do the same thing I was going to do here. We're actually not that far behind, so we can do Great Fire here, because Great Fire is required for all of these. So there's no reason not to do Great Fire. Is there anything I want on these ones? So Captive Xenos. I don't really want Captive Xenos. I don't really want this one, so I do want Shelter. We already have Lightbringers done. Lightbringers is a Foulstone one. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay. So that is, again, more proof that this is how this works. Dargonus is now building. Janus is building. Veabos. What do we want at the end of yours? Now that we're here. Do we want Raider Base, Palace for Outcasts, or Repentance of the Lost? So Veabos 6, a quiet haven, especially for the Expanse's pirates. It's time to capitalize on this. So we need New Life, which is from another one, and then Penal Bastion. This requires you to have a rep with Fellowship of the Void, which we don't currently have. Okay. Palace for the Outcast. You need to have Xenos Intoxicant, which we can get. Master of Shadowy Expanse gets you 10 Intelligence, Fellowship, and Willpower. Ooh. Costs you people, but that's okay. And Penal Bastion, which is, or Battalion, which is that one. And Repentance of the Lost. You require to have rep with the Drusians. It gives you more, and it gives you the voice of Peduvian. Okay, which is just a sword. Okay, and it requires people. A quiet haven where one should mind the state of their soul. A fortress of repentance complete with the order of battle flagitants is a worthy use of this palace. Frontier of the Expanse. Outcasts and exiles will find peace and tranquility here in the right conditions. I kind of like this one. So we need Xenos Intoxicant from Janus, but other than that we're fine. Do I want to do this? Not right away because it's going to use more people than we have. Is there anything here that uses basically nothing? I don't need this one. I don't need Captive Xenos right now. Could take Pureblood. For nothing, you gain Profit Factor and Efficiency. Yeah, what do we need for these? You need people. And you need mechanisms. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go Pureblood. That seems... There's no negative as I read it. And then in here... Right, which one do I want? Sky Barrier. Requires you to have Archive of the Expanse. We already have Holy Ammunition. Euphrates 2 is lost, and the Adeptus Mechanicus now turns its gaze upon Kiava Gamma. Euphrates 2 is lost? Anyway, the world can become a manufactorum for the creation of mighty void weaponry. We get a very, very powerful macro cannon. We get Exalted Instruments of War feature, so 20% minimum damage to ranged attacks. And Explorator's RP. Okay. Power of Plasma. Euphrates 2 is lost. The world can become a sacred assembly line for plasma drives. We need Extractium Ignifera. I don't know what that one is. Is that in here? Extractium Ignifera? Yes, it's this one. People for Prometheum. Okay. And that then gets you what? That gets you a load of mechanisms and a Sacrament of Light. 15 speed with average acceleration and braking. But you need rep with the Explorators to do it, which we don't have, or Warp Revelations, which also needs rep with the Explorators, which we don't have. This is going to be a very easy one, although that is very nice in terms of extra damage. Sky Barrier seems like our only choice, just due to not having the rest of it. Right? So we'd only need Archive of the Expanse. To do that, we need people. We're going to get people from other things. Okay, in which case now we're just choosing what we want. New Life, 2 mechanisms, or 3 Profit Factor. Is there anything here that gets me mechanism? Yes, that gets me mechanisms. I need people. Maybe I just don't spend anything right now. Wait till we have people. Yeah, I think I wait till I have people on Kiava Gamma. Right. That took longer than I wanted it to. But I'm very happy the reload was not a problem. Right, I was worried that we were going to have a lot that we needed to do on the reload. I mean, we still have more that we have to do when we come back here. That's fine. Doing a full save now that we are certain that we're happy. Here, I did get a new hammer, right? No, I actually didn't get either a new hammer. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, why? I got... Oh, it's because I got 2 hammers. I got the hammer from this and the hammer from the event. I'm not going to get either of those, which makes that kind of funny. Right. I said I was going to go to Footfall today, so let's go to Footfall. Right, let's see how this goes. Why am I in Cranach? I'm not. Well, why did it start me on Cranach? Oh, because that's with the last world I was looking at. Okay, okay. How am I getting to here? So I can go bounce, bounce. That's 2-1 difficulties. Yeah, or there, which is 1-1 difficulty. Yeah, let's do this then. Warp travel. The Koronus colony event requires your attention. Lord Captain, we have visitors on the bridge seeking an audience. Your presence is required. What? What do you mean visitors? Who would be visiting? I want to go to Footfall, I'm just not quite ready yet. It's not even like I've done anything else. All I went and did is one warp event. Anyway, it's fine. Hello? What's happening here? Your lordship. The high factotum bows low. Every few moments, Danrock brings a perfumed cloth to his face, but his expression remains obsequious. Members of your crew have made a request to allow them to proclaim the most profound devotion to Lord Captain personally. Young man? A man in a worn uniform bows awkwardly. Your Highness, gracious Lord Captain, please allow me to speak on behalf of the whole crew and everyone, and express our gratitude to you, officially, so to speak. The kind of leader you are, the way you treat people, it's now known in every corner of the Expanse, from Footfall to the poorest, dirtiest, most unremarkable planet. All praise your dedication to the human spirit and goodwill. So this feels like an Iconoclast event. You know, we following Iconoclast, which is kind of for the people, and they're like, we appreciate that. Everyone wants to serve under your command, and there's no end to the volunteers. So the other day, we were clearing out an abandoned sector for new living quarters. We found a forgotten vault, right in the bilge of the ship, literally beneath our feet. Well, it turned out the vault had some centuries-old weapons in it. They look a bit odd, but they're powerful for sure. The good tech priests helped with the assembly and consecration of the weapons, and now you can strike down your enemies with even greater might. Your lordship, apart from the weapons, the crew has sent one more find to the bridge as a token of its eternal gratitude. A most ancient mechanism, which our tech priests have dubbed the Celestium Observatorum. Alas, its machine spirit refuses to heed their rites, which makes the device more symbolic and aesthetic than practical in purpose. Do you wish to see it? Of course. That's cool. Oh, that was it? Literally see it? Oh, okay. The Celestium Observatorium looms over the deck. While the spirit of this ancient mechanism has gone silent forever, the words intrinsically inscribed on its frame can still serve as a source of resolve. A keen gaze sunders the darkness abloom with deceit and reduces all corruption to ash. Right. Back over here. We are now going to leave again. Let me just check whether we got any colony events done, which we may have, because we travelled one place. I'll do it on the Koronus Expanse map, because then I can press the hotkey. Because the hotkey doesn't work when you're wandering around. There we go. Okay, thank you. Pureblood's finished. Nice. What was it? I was looking for people or something here, but I can get people by doing this. I just don't really want to do the Captive Xenos one, but maybe I should, right? I mean, it lowers your security and lowers your profit factor, but does give you a lot more people. It would lower security to 0, though. I imagine that might have impacts, although I've been told security does not matter as much as the game would like you to think. Lord Captain, an urgent message. Our enforcers have arrested a dangerous saboteur who attempted to gain entry onto the bridge. This incident may be worthy of your attention. You see, both the saboteur and the circumstances of his capture are rather strange. You cannot tell if Vigdis sounds baffled or worried. I think it would be reasonable for Magos Pascal to take a look at him as well. What's so unusual about the saboteur and the way he was captured? The thing is, Lord Captain, the saboteur is most definitely a tech priest. He found his way aboard the ship and penetrated all our security systems with staggering ease. Both his ability to communicate with the machine spirits and the combat potential of his augmentations are extraordinary. Nevertheless, the enforcers managed to capture him. During the arrest, the intruder, he offered no resistance at all. Instead, he asked for an audience with the Great Machine Spirit. When he realized the enforcers had no idea what he was talking about, he asked to meet with you. I considered it a necessity, or necessary, to apprise you of the situation. This infiltration of a rogue trader ship operated by authorized engine seers has many doubts on my tech comrade's stability, if he is indeed a tech comrade, that is. Regardless, I request permission to communicate with the captive. Very well, I will speak to him. Understood, Lord Captain. The saboteur will be brought to you. Okay. Chapter 4 is very much every step you take. Somebody else has come to see you. A new event is here. Like, okay, just give me a second to chill into it. It's fine. We haven't even had our starter event yet. Like, you know, go to Footfall, get told what we're doing. I'm just getting event after event after event. They're all cool, it's just like, it's a lot of events. The spin was incredible. Ah, so this is a Nomos event. The group of servitors whose movements are suspiciously well synchronized stares at the towering prisoner. You do not need to hear them speak to recognize Nomos, who seem fit to attend the interrogation. The captured man, if he can be called that, looks positively gigantic next to the enforcers at his side. Deadly-looking metal gleams dimly beneath his faded crimson robes. His hands are folded obediently, and his mechadendrites are perfectly still. I greet the master of this vassal cathedral and offer my humble apologies for this unbidden intrusion. My apologies to you as well, brother. The interloper inclines his head in the direction of the frowning Pascal. The prisoner turns slightly, then looks straight at Nomos's observing servitors. And of course, I must beg forgiveness from you, Great Spirit. It was not my intent to desecrate your temple. Let's see here. I honor the fraternity of the Omnissiah's servants. It pains me to see you trespassing on board like a thief instead of arriving as a guest. The giant's shoulders shift slightly. For that I apologize as well. I did not expect to find understanding amid the suffocating ignorance that abounds within the laity, and even many of my brethren. For this reason I chose to carry out my mission in secret, and without seeking your permission. My name, if it matters, is Asclepius, formerly a computator general of the Cognizance fleet, now a Liber recluse with the status of Malateg. Malategs are exiles whose ideas have not crossed the line of heresy yet, have come close to it. They are removed from the fleet structure to give them a chance to see the folly of their ways, and prevent sedition from spreading. Pascal's voice sounds unusually alarmed. All of that is trivial. My past is nothing but a set of archival data. My lost status is a part replacement string in the long chronicle of the Cognizance fleet. I come not as the priesthood's messenger, but as a faithful disciple of the most holy Amornat. My brother once served as the engine seer prime on this ship. Asclepius gestures around him reverently. He was an adherent in the school of discontinuing the cycle as I am. It is spread that far. It's difficult to discern Pascal's emotions from his tone. I know that my brother perished, but before he did, he sent me a message that told of a journey embarked upon by Theodora von Valancius, a journey through a dimensional gate, an artifact more ancient than humanity itself and towards worlds unknown. The blessed Amornat was with her. There, upon those dark worlds, he witnessed a great miracle, the birth of a machine spirit of incalculable might. My brother believed that this spirit then fell aslumber within the ship like a child in a cradle, not responding to lowly pleas. That was the purpose of my pilgrimage, to reach the ship where my brother died and the ship upon whose decks the blessed Amornat had walked, and prostrate myself before the Great Spirit. Amornat travelled on this ship? Yes, he did. My brother's words on this were clear. Years ago, Amornat was part of the rogue trader Theodora's inner circle before their ways parted. Tell me more about Theodora's journey. My knowledge of it is scarce. My brother suspected that his memory, along with the memory of all who might have known the details, had been purposefully modified. He saw it as a sign that his journey had revealed a great truth, and there were those who did not wish to see the truth brought to light. All that he conveyed to me was that Theodora had reached worlds unlike any the people of the Koronus Expanse had ever seen. There she unearthed a great treasure of technology, one that Amornat had the privilege of experiencing. What do you know about this great spirit? It is a great miracle, the Omnissiah's breath, meant to help us discontinue the cycle. It was born of the treasure that Amornat and Theodora discovered upon the dark worlds, yet even a being so glorious needs attendants and guides. As long as the Cognizance fleet is racked by schism and my brothers and sisters suffer defeats without end, there is no one to aid the spirit. That is why I came here. Does the name Nomos mean anything to you? Nothing. He has not come to know us yet. He will if you let him, Malachi. We know. We sense that his words about us, that the story he has told is our story. You are strong, yet you let yourself be caught. I took a vow that I would never inflict physical harm upon lay people. The Omnissiah grants us the power of the true flesh for a purpose other than damaging the frail and blind creatures that are all who have not yet tasted his knowledge. I made a decision regarding your fate. Whatever it is, I will accept it. As will I, and yet I plead that my brother be shown leniency. His story initializes thought. We ask that you keep him for us. Nomos' servitors speak up suddenly, in the faintest of whispers. Well, we have the one that we have to take, but let's see what our options would be. I find you guilty of offences against the Cult Mechanicus and House von Valantius. Your crimes warrant punishment more severe than death. You will atone by serving me, and therefore the Imperium. I assume that means effectively you make him a servitor, by the way it's worded, potentially? A punishment more severe than death, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, your actions have caused no harm, and so I shall not harm you. You are free. You may steal my ship if you choose. You are now mine. You shall obey my every whim, or you'll be executed. I do feel like there's got to be an execution route for this game, and by that I'm not meaning an official route. I'm just like, the amount of opportunities you've had to execute people. Just keep executing them, and I'm sure the game becomes like 40% less long just due to the number of conversations that no longer happen because there's nobody there for them to happen with. But yes, your actions have caused no harm, so I shall not harm you. I could not ask for more. All that I wish is to remain in these halls and observe and reverence the Great Spirit's deeds. Let the cycle be discontinued. Nomos' servitors turn their heads to you and nod all at once, in what can be interpreted as an expression of gratitude. Talk to Nomos. No. Not right now. We will talk to Nomos, probably at the start of next episode, but I promised I would at least get to Footfall. So we are going to at least get to Footfall today. There we go. Lord Captain, the Ordo Xenos punitive unit led by Acolyte Ninette Zu has arrived on Janus. The Inquisition's forces have already taken control of the Governor's Palace and intend to deal with the anomalies on Janus. Heinrichs, why was I not notified of their arrival in advance? I am surprised that they have informed us of their arrival at all. It demonstrates a semblance of trust. How much did the Inquisition sniff out? The initial interrogations set Lynette Zu on the tracks of the wretches towards the anomalous region, but her people continue to dig deeper, so to speak. Okay, so we can let the Inquisition do their job, and we get the hexagrammic grace, which is a bonus to logic, coercion, and persuasion. We shall trick them, have my servants persuade the Inquisitors there's nothing important on the planet, or order the expulsion of these impudent fools from my worlds. Okay, so obviously the only one that gets you anything as a base is let the Inquisition do their job. What think you, my officers and advisors? Cooperating with the Inquisition would do us more good than trying to hide the current misfortunes of the colony. I can send them a message to keep us informed about the interrogation, as a favor. If only we could throw them a bone, let them find evidence they want, one that they can get by without. The rest could be concealed away from their inquisitive eyes. Like a sand lizard shedding its tail, sometimes one must see the battle to win the war. If someone were to walk around my domain so brazenly, they would certainly regret it. Lay open the trap, lace it with poison, put down the bait, and wait for the enemy to end their own worthless life. So, kill them, order the expulsion, let the Inquisition do their job. Wait, what happened to Jai's option? Throw them a bone. I guess Marazai overrides that option? Okay, How is Heinrich's going to feel if I kill them? Well, I mean, honestly, we can't let them do their job because they're going to find that the world is covered in Xenos, right? And they're going to be very unhappy. However, the Inquisition already knows the world is covered in Xenos, which is kind of a little bit of an odd point here. I can order that they have to leave my world, but I lose efficiency, complacency, security on the world. Or perish. I don't know what we can do. I would love to choose Jai's option, but I think Jai's option is this option. It's just phrased differently. Well, I guess kill them. Well, is that going to lead to bad things? Probably. Expulsion seems pretty bad as well. But if they perish, is that not going to mean that they're going to send like another group? Yeah, they might send another group. The problem with 4 and 5 is I'm like, that means they're going to send another group later, right? 3 we could take, and then we just have to explain it away. That's the problem. The problem with 3 is that you have to explain it. I want to say 4, I just feel like it's going to end badly. Does 4 fit in with what our character would do? I think our character would let the Inquisition do their job. To serve Janus in the von Valancius dynasty. Oh, it looks like it also overrode Heinrich's one. Because that wasn't Heinrich saying anything, that was the High Factotum. After Lady Zhu set up her headquarters at the Governor's Palace, she began to investigate the situation on Janus. All those feeling guilt for their crimes before the Emperor could only stay silent and pray. During her investigation, Lady Zhu has been able to establish that the genetic changes in the organisms of the sickly creatures have been caused by the effects of mysterious substances secreted into the water by the Xeno obelisks. These substances did not contaminate the water until recently, as shown by the analysis of the Magos Biologus. The same Xeno obelisks appear to be linked by a chain of energy communications, also serving as sources of unknown radiation that seems to have caused the outbreak of the contaminated growth in a currently uncontrolled sector of the planet. This also seems to be causing the appearance of mysterious phantoms. Lady Zhu suggested that there is some sort of ancient mechanical construction located on Janus that is awakened from its slumber. The anomalies occurring on Janus have been caused by the blasphemous machine trying to start itself. I think that was fine. I think we got away with that. Okay. That's not too bad. So we can have the refugees one here. Which I think is the one that we want, right? Yeah, I think I want the refugees one. For the 18 times people. Janus's orbit is swarming with a fleet of refugees. By turning the entire world into an enormous staging point, the rogue trader will save billions of lives. That's the one that we want. That fits us. We get people, and we get Merciful Savior. Done. Dargonus, you're still working on it. Veabos, we need people. We need people. Right. Foulstone, I need to do... Wait, I need... Which one? I need Holy Defenders on this one, which means we have to have Praising the Muses, which means we need to wait for this. Okay. Because we're here, we're going to visit Mundus Valancius and do the very quick event. It should be a 2-second event here. So, over to Dargonus. Armed guests, it says. What do you mean armed guests? Sounds bad. A troop of well-armed people has landed in the colony and started plundering, acting like they were in charge. The report suggests that these pirating cutthroats are privateers, the likes of whom flock toward the banner of Caligos Winterscale seeking his favour. So we can enter battle, buy the loyalty of his people, or order the planetary wardens to slay Winterscale's lackeys. I mean, if this gave us people, we would take it, right? I guess we have to enter battle. Okay. Well, into battle we go once more. Again, we're going to make it to Footfall today. One way or another, we're making it to Footfall. Now, are we going to land on the planet? I can't promise you that. We are going to make it to the planet.
Prepare for battle stations.
Oh, a fight like this. I was like, oh, we have to fight on the planet? No issues. Yeah. A fight like this, on the other hand, issues. Okay. That's not too much damage if it didn't get through these guys immediately. Okay, maybe that was reasonable damage. It lived? Yeah, I don't like the Dictator class cruiser. That sounds bad. Okay. Some interceptors here. Well, at least it didn't completely destroy that ship. It will get a turn. So if I wanted to go here... Yeah, so I could go like this. Then I'm going to drop myself some torpedoes here. The reason I'm going to drop them early is so that they can come in and attack. Right. Need to go one more to actually... Let's go one more. Then I can shoot in here.
With the force of a supernova.
Nice. Dorsal.
Fire at will.
Nice. Head round this way. If I extend my arc augury, I don't even know if I'm going to hit them. It's annoying.
Coordinates set.
I'm kind of tempted to try, though. That looks like it should hit, but I don't think it will. I think it... Well... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to hit. Let's do it anyway. Let's see if it will. It will! Wonderful.
Macro cannons, open fire!
Then we're going to spin it. Which destroys that one. We're going to reinforce our left-hand side. And that's fine. So you get to shoot. Almost killed the interceptors. Did some damage to that one. Okay, plasma torpedoes. They're gonna hit us, aren't they? Luckily they hit our defensive side. They're gonna shoot the weak one. But on a side that they were actually stronger on, but then they exploded. Okay. Dictator class cruiser coming in. Lots of health on that one. Little worried. Interceptor going through. That's okay. Right, we want to end your turn here. It just seems too good. Okay. So I immediately want to do this to allow me to turn at a sharper angle. So we can now turn towards these guys. So let's turn like this. Shoot into the... well, excuse me? What do you mean I'm not shooting into the front here? Yeah, I'm shooting into the side, apparently. Well, you could go like this and then shoot into them. Yeah, so I'm going to shoot you with this then.
Volley.
Nice. Dorsal. Fire.
With the force of a supernova.
We can then go even further around if we want to. Then we could fire in here. Changing course, disengage. Let's live to fight another day is what they said. Okay. They have to go through us if they want to try and escape right now. Let's destroy these ships. That didn't destroy them. That just moved them slightly. And then... in here, make our right-hand side defensive.
Engines.
Okay. Let's try that. We might have lost the fight. We knew we were going to get hit a lot. Okay. They're running. That's okay. Fire.
Salvo!
I just realized I should have spun it first. Let's summon some of
Keep up
these.
the pressure.
Shoot.
Fire at will.
Spin. That wasn't quite what I was aiming to do, but I almost destroyed it. I actually can't really move very far forward here. Fire.
With the force of a supernova.
Do I have to ram here? Okay, then I can fire on these guys.
Macro cannons. Open fire.
Not quite. Okay. Then honestly, I don't know. I guess our front is going to be hit, probably. End turn. Plasma torpedoes are off. That did hit our side, unfortunately. That's okay. 2, very, very slowly trying to run away. Oh, very, very quickly actually running away. Then you're returning to ship, I guess? Alright, yeah. Blow up. Saying let's disengage for another day. They're already exploded. Head round here and then
Coordinates set.
yeah, use the arc augury. Wonderful. Then we can shoot in here.
Fire at will.
Kind of hoping that we do it just a little bit more. Shoot.
Lance batteries. Volley.
Haven't quite got it yet. Okay, this should be 1 on its thing, so that's fine. Also just going to drift us to the side slightly. That's fine. Just to avoid any chance of the plasma torpedoes catching us, although there was no chance. 1. We're now following them, which should be good. These guys should be following them, I assume? Yeah. Spin it. Wonderful.
Time to reap the spoils of the battle.
So, we get the reward. We get some trophies, we get some scrap. It wasn't too bad. It's a little bit off. Been a while since we've done it, but it was fine. We got nothing else. But, I mean, I guess that's still, like, you know, I say we got nothing else. We did get XP for this, which is wonderful. Right. Leave here. Again, I said we're going to make it to Footfall. So, the goal has to be to actually make it to Footfall. Let's head all the way down here to Furibundus. Profit factor gained for arriving at Footfall. Oh, we're on the voidship bridge again, huh? Are we? Okay. Alright, next. Next conversation. I almost made it to Footfall. Oh, piles of loot in here. Hi, Jai. And a gun. She moving in? Jai is briskly counting the treasures that have suddenly appeared in your chambers. Shireen, I decided it is only right if I return all of this to you. No matter how lovely and valuable a gift may be, it becomes a millstone around the heart when it is obtained by deceitful means. I thought the safest thing would be to bring them all here. If I had handed them to Danrock, it would have been a monstrous temptation, and your avarice factotum does not strike me as someone who is good at resisting temptation. What, are these my gifts? Yes, Shireen, tokens of your interest that you lavished upon me as generously as the sun lavishes its light and heat. I do not recall giving you quite so many gifts. You must have given these gifts to yourself. Okay. I'll say there's no need for this. On the contrary, Shireen, decency dictates that I do this. Jai speaks with vehemence, almost desperation, like a column of foot soldiers storing a fort. I refuse to close my eyes to what's right in front of me, Malachi. I am not the one for you. Rogue traders do not keep no-name commoners by their side. This mismatch will diminish you for as long as it continues, and when it ends, I will be the one diminished. Jai is striving to maintain her business-like air of indifference, but her shoulders are sagging as though under a heavy weight. A haunted look flickers in her eyes, and her mouth is set in a forlorn mew. I see a different future for us. We do not need to end things. The cold mask falls from Jai's face, revealing what lies beneath, a tortured expression and tears rolling down her tawny cheeks. How long will we be able to keep playing the simpleton and the rogue trader? You have a protectorate full of women just like me. Before I was able to make myself stand out from the crowd, but now with every passing day in your eyes I'll become just more ordinary. More trivial. I'm like a performer whose props for his tricks have come tumbling out of his sleeves. I need to get off the stage before the crowd starts throwing stones and rotten food. I don't want to have my heart broken by you. Okay. Let's see this here. I haven't always been the rogue trader either, but that's who you see in me. You become who you pretend to be. Let's pretend together. I give up. I won't break your heart like I like you as you are, or we propose to her. And you say the words, "Don't leave me" at the end, which I gotta say is a desperate proposal. The, "Please marry me, don't leave me." I'm tempted. I think I say 3. I haven't always been the rogue trader either, but that's who you see in me. You become who you pretend to be. Let's pretend together. A crooked smile appears on Jai's face. Two swindlers leading everyone else on a merry dance, the princess of the cold trade and the rogue trader. It's like something out of a mawkish story for girls on the cusp of womanhood. I must confess, a peccadillo of mine. I love those kinds of stories. Jai helplessly throws up her hands. You win, Malachi. I can't resist your charms. I'll drink the cup of our passion to the very bottom, no matter how bitter the dregs in the last swallow. I am yours. Your lordship, as everyone's just like, your lordship, your lordship. Alright then. Well, we made it to Footfall. We're in the system for Footfall. We need to speak to Nomos. We need to do the last little bit of colony events, and then we are ready to go to Footfall and to start Chapter 4. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.